Hello, everyone. How are ya? Well, it is Wednesday, I do believe. I think it is. And at least in this reality, they say that it's Wednesday. So there you go. But hey, who can ever count on reality, right? It seems to be, well, I don't know, unreal at times. That's what it seems like. So, hey, everyone, welcome. Hope your day is going most excellently. I have called this day the tuning day. I think once in a while, like our cars, like our computers, um, you know, we need a tuning day. So today we're going to really tune in on a subject that, well, it's got as many different views and opinions. I think there are people. Just want to say hello to everyone. Hello, Brian, Milky Way Weekly. Marion, how are you doing? This show is for you, dear, by the way. Dawn, Kathleen, hello. Pure Love Ascension, I love it. How are you? Next, good to see you. Sylvia, hello. I love tacos. Give me two, please. Good to see you. Mark, hello. Hi, Vi. Watched your video, dear. Everything's purple, huh, these days. Ellie, good to see you. And Barry, Richard, Heidi, Gushara, good to see you. Jesse, hello. Cause, gonna have Cause back on. Yeah, I'm looking for something on Friday, so I think we're going to do the healing thing. What do you think? I think that's something. Let me know what you think on that. Anyway, Stardust Moon, love it. Humanoid. Thank you, sir. And Caroline, good to see you, my dear. Lost in Space, hello. And Valerie, great song. Rocker Chick, how you doing? Man, so Franny, if I've Patrick, hello. How are you, my friend? And JH, Christopher, Lisa, hello, Warrior Queen. Y'all are just great. Just said. So, got this is going around, and let me pull it up, and let's just see what y'all think. I love this when they come up like this because it gives us, I think, great hope. So this is the story. I believe the mother and daughter. This is, I think, in Georgia. Her son had passed. And I think it was their motion detector that alerted them. And so this is her son. And it's a good question. Is it real? Is it not? It gives one great hope that obviously there would be what we would call the afterlife. I would say the image would also imply indirectly, actually, I think more directly, that the question that we're going to be pondering, there is what would appear now beyond what we're seeing here. It's subject to debate, but it would appear that there is, in fact, a transference of consciousness, that spirit is superior to body. Spirit is superior if the soul exists. And I say if. Anyone who does any research on the soul will quickly find out, may not be that way. But obviously, what I see here is this, and this is how I look at it today, is that I'm seeing something that defies the laws of physics, something that defies the laws, apparently, of photons. That you have a spirit. What is spirit? Is it tangible? Is it How do you define that? Is it just essence of thought? Or is it truly, as what many of us, and I think most of us, hope for, individuality into the next plane? And it would appear to me that, one, we have what would appear as a transference of consciousness, self, the ability to be interdimensional, the ability either by rote or spontaneity, the ability to take matter and to transform it into material, mass. Yeah. Excuse me. So, I guess the question really comes back to is this spirit? I tend to say yes. And I trust that this spirit is on with their journey. They've come to understanding of some things of which will be our topic for today. So let's check. Let me get back over here so I can see everybody. Hello. So there we go. That's how I see it. You know, there would have been a time when I would go, ooh. No one never need to ever think like that. You have to look at things rationally. And again, it shows that spirit supersedes apparently physical laws, has the ability to bend them. Now, Hermetics teaches that. It says that we inherently have this ability to transmute ourselves, our consciousness, our essence. Is that what we're witnessing? Well, I hope it is, because I think each and every one of us want the same thing. So let's really get into the meat of this. I have put together, here we go. So we're talking about the subject of nothingness. Now, for many people, it's frightening. Because here's the thing about nothingness. And what most people fear, fear. My wife deals with people that are dying in one form or the other. And here recently, there was one who was so afraid that actually there's a syndrome for it. There's a psychological name for this that some people experience. In this case, this person did. And they were well into their 90s. And, you know, as an empath, you know, you have to really be disciplined, because that fear is tangible. It saturates everything around that person, particularly when death is present. They become so afraid that it begins to show up in many different physical manifestations. None of us, no spirit should have to face death in that state of consciousness of fear. But when I say that we all most likely will go back to the nothingness, then people begin to think, well, will I remember? Nothingness is defined the absence or sensation of life or existence. It can be defined as worthlessness, unimportant, insignificant. It is more, people are afraid of the fact that they won't remember. More so than the second leading fear of death is pain. Many people fear death because of the pain. It's going to hurt. But then again, that's a perception that has been built and created, and falsely, I may add. So the question is this: how do you deal with this? And I think it's to get a better understanding of what nothingness is. Now, nothingness is not the oblivion. Get that out right now. If the oblivion is here, then the nothingness would not exist. It would be obliviated. The nothingness is tangible. Some say it could be called as the ether. We at one time, our species, understood that. They understood the nothingness. So here are the questions I am asked so often, and I'm going to put them in a nice little list for you to ponder. So the first thing we want to know when we die is, will I remember? Will I remember who I am? It is said that at that moment of transmutation, transcendence, of consciousness, that's where the movie of your life, every second of it, is played out. Now, religion has used that as a weapon. Actually, it's a celebration. Good or bad? Understand, get out your religious thinking. In the end, good, bad are the same plane. They're just different degrees of difference. Second is, will all the wisdom I gained be lost? I mean, that's a waste, isn't it? That we would even risk everything we've paid dearly for. And some of us know we've paid a very heavy price for that which we know, that which we believe, and that which we project. Now, that door swings both ways as well. And then the question really becomes, is all wisdom transferred at death? And I guess then you could ask the question, a subset of this would be, do all spirits gain wisdom through the process? Now, if you're a Buddhist and Hindu, you believe that life is in a circle, always, never ending. The next question really comes, is all knowledge lost as well? Knowledge is much more easily obtained than wisdom. And I often see those who life energies are too often transmuted all too soon. They never had an opportunity to gain much knowledge. They went through the rite of passage, but that's how it is here. It's there's no guarantees. And here's the question then, and I want you to ponder it from this point of view. Can a spirit be manufactured? Okay, let's take the point of view that in my former life, where I was under the God spell, Christianity in this case, it is taught that when you were born is when you were created, your spirit. You came out of your mother's womb, and then the debate comes, do you have a soul and what have you? Now, that construct then has the audacity to go and teach that somehow your spirit is finite and that it was corrupted when it was created. Therefore, you fall short. You need a mediator for your redemption in order for the possibility of eternal life. But the problem with eternal life is that it's not infinite life. It's a trick. Many people go to their grave thinking they're going to have eternal life, thinking that somehow this means forever. Not necessarily. Read the small print. Now, I personally find that the most illogical theology ever. To say that a spirit is corrupted at its creation point, then says that the spirit is not eternal, is not immortal, it means it's finite and therefore would be substandard, subjected to a spirit that was infinite. Now, I choose to take the path that I am God. If you want to define God in the limited construct that sapiens can define it as, you are God. We all are gods. We have to be. Therefore, I, are infinite. We have no beginning. We will never have any end. We are not subjected to the space-time construct only when we subject ourselves to it. The spirit has to be immortal. Now, here's the second great lie that you have to get out, and what I found and realized was that the bait is that you'll have someone take a human sacrifice and there has to be human blood spilt. So that has a whole, we'll get into that down the road. And then that somehow or another allows you to be reborn spiritually, that now says that you will become immortal. Maybe. But what the bait becomes even more tempting is you'll go to heaven. No more suffering, no more lack, no more wanting, no more nothing. Wait a minute. Did I just say that? No more nothing. Folks, perfect peace means no motion. Perfect peace means no resistance. If you are seeking perfect peace, then you're seeking oblivion. Perfect peace, if it exists, then exists in a state of nothingness. And here, if death is a spirit, and is death a spirit? If so, it lives. So how does a living spirit become dominant at the transmutation point, the transition? Death in itself is life. How could death then exist? And then it becomes the question, so what is the purpose of death? Have we looked at it wrongly that death is only death in this death construct? That actually death could be looked at as the light bearer, the one who brings all knowledge and all wisdom at that transmutation point. Because think about this. Would then not be death be perfection? How can death be improved upon? Have you ever asked yourself that? How can death be perfected? Where does it lack? What does it lack? And then here's the question. If our purpose is to go round and around and around and around and around in this construct, in this plane, on this earth, then that would say that the next question, and I'll let you answer it, is wisdom universally the same? In other words, if you lived on a planet that let's say 15 billion light years on the other side of the universe, would that wisdom be anything similar to this wisdom? I mean, is this a process that you go through many different planes, many different dimensions, collecting wisdom? And the question becomes, well, why would we want to collect wisdom if we had all wisdom to begin with? If we are not infinite, then that means that we are somehow finite. I mean, try as you will. There's nothing to see. I mean, this is what we think the nothingness is you trapped. No. Quite the opposite. I call this the other reality. I mean, we're in this frequency, this reality, but I think that's just it. We're just in it. We're not of it. Alan Watts, nothing is more creative than death, since it is the whole secret of life. It means that the past must be abandoned, that the unknown cannot be avoided, that I cannot continue, and that nothing can be ultimately fixed. When a man knows this, he lives for the first time in his life. By holding his breath, he loses it. By letting go, he finds it. Alan Watts. You see, actually, where the beginning, this is where they morph truths into religion. In the beginning is out of the nothingness. It's where everything emanates, by all evidence, returns. Epicurus, why should I fear death? If I am, death is not. If death is, I am not. Why should I fear that which can only exist when I do not? You ponder these questions, and when you get them answered, you're not going to be afraid. You're definitely going to be like me. Giddy up, partner. Come on. We are living in a culture entirely hypnotized by the illusion of time, in which the so-called present moment is felt as nothing but an infinitesimal hairline between a causative past and an absorbingly important future. We have no present. Our consciousness is almost completely preoccupied with memory and expectation. We do not realize that there never was, is, nor will be any other experience than present experience. We are, therefore, out of touch with reality. Alan Watts. You can call it the other nothingness. It's where everything emanates. If you want to call something God, this would be it. It's got no name, at least one that can't be known in our tongue. But every religion, every theology emanates from the nothing. The nothing can't be confined by time, by space. Both emanate from the nothingness. And no matter what religion or belief you have, your God is nothingness. Your God is not superior to the nothingness. All gods come from the nothingness. They are not masters of it. They are partakers of it. Epicurus again. Is God willing to prevent evil, but not able? Then he is not omnipotent. Is he able, but not willing? Then he's malevolent. Is he both able and willing? Then whence cometh evil? He is neither able nor willing. Then why call him God? All numbers begin and end in zero. It's the foundation of all mathematics. The nothingness. Mathematics starts with an empty set. What's inside an empty bag? Nothing. But that's something on which all mathematics is founded. I hope you're starting to see this. When your loved one passes, what you need to let them know is they're going back from whence they come. And there's nothing to be afraid of here. Nothing. Nothing's going to harm them. Nothing's going to, in any way, alter them. Alan Watts again. You yourself are the eternal energy which appears as the universe. You didn't come into this world. You came out of it, like a wave from the ocean. Folks, we're just passing through. You know, it's sometimes the most difficult thing for us to stop judging ourselves, stop punishing ourselves, stop condemning ourselves. You're in a death passage right now. That's all it is. Your birth, you cannot remember. And most people think this. All what your life is nothing. It's here, you make the flash, and you're gone. But that explosion opens a door. Nothing is more creative than death, since it is the whole secret of life. It means that the past must be abandoned, and that the unknown cannot be avoided, that I cannot continue, and that nothing can be ultimately fixed. When you know this, you begin to realize there was only one door of light. And you already walked through it because you are the light. I'm going to do tomorrow, we're going to talk about those who are going to be rejected when they pass here. And you're going to love this. In fact, you'll want to make sure that you're one of the rejected. But right now, the only way you got here was that you are the light. Your essence, your light, penetrated this dimension, this plane of existence. And you're not going to believe this, but this is how I am beginning to see that this is coming around. We send emissaries ahead to procreate us a body to be a part of. Nothing is really like the nothingness of space, which contains the whole universe. Think about this, folks. All the sun and the stars and the mountains and rivers and the good men and the bad men and the animals and the insects, the whole bit, are all contained in the void. So out of this void comes everything. And you're it. Alan Watts, The State of Nothing. Folks, it's all right. We all go back to the nothingness. It's beyond our comprehension because we're not taught. This is the hidden knowledge. This is the type of knowledge that sets the masses free, that get them out from the mind control of the mind construct. that all religions put them in. Even religion is of the nothingness. You see, this is what they want to make us think. This is all of us. There is no one else, just you. Now, on that moment of transition that is called death, death has to be a living spirit. Maybe it's the how do I want to say this? It's the transducer that helps you transcend from one dimension to the other, to the next, back into the nothingness. Nothingness. From absolute zero to cosmic oblivion, amazing insights into the nothingness, folks. You see, nothing is more fertile than the emptiness. That's what I think most people perceive the nothingness to be. The emptiness. I don't know where the emptiness is. I dare say that if one finds it, it may become impossible to get out of it. I don't know. You see, I'm not sure if the emptiness is the antithesis of the nothingness. It may very well be. It seems that when everything is brought down to its simplest components, it would seem that we have two, maybe superior forces at work here. You see, I see the nothingness as creation itself. The emptiness, not sure. But this is what we have to remember. The nothingness is not the emptiness. Death, therefore, the most awful of evils, is nothing to us, seeing that when we are, death is not come, and when death is come, we are not. Epicurus. All right. So help to kind of get this wrapped up here. Let's talk about, we actually don't live in a reality. You see, out of the nothingness is where all of us emitted from. To the nothingness, all of us will project back into. Each of us exists in our own reality. From the concept of birth to death, we each exist in multiple realities. You see, people try to become so esoteric and metaphysical in realities. Folks, when you use your imagination, when you create, when you daydream, when you meditate, when you sleep, you are in a different reality, merging and coexisting in multiple realities. It's the most unique thing about spirit. We don't become interdimensional beings. We already are. I hope someone that needs to hear this hears it. All of us see from the inside out. It's the only way you can perceive anything. Many of us have the ability, as we continue to awaken those latent abilities, where we can begin to transcend multiple dimensions, multiple times, multiple space, the same time. And to show you how this works, when I say dog, what dog do you see? It shows you how the individual truly is. Wherever you are, you're only seeing from you. You see my image, but I know that, but I cannot see my image from what you are seeing it. A simple experiment. What time is it for you? No one knows what time it is, for time is different for all of us. We are in this illusion that we're all living at the same time. No. Each of us individually perceive time differently. Right now, time can be speeding up for you, or it could be extremely excruciating slow. And for me, it could be neither. But we're all experiencing the time experience. We are trillions of self-spheres within a greater sphere, which is in and amongst trillions, if not quadrillions, of spheres that are within yet greater spheres. General time, birth time, death time, all are different times. Time is of the nothingness. Time emits from the nothingness. The fact of the matter is, Homo sapiens do not know even what date it is. When I ask how old you are, you immediately think of years, but you should be thinking of yourself in days. Again, an illusion. So what is reality? How is it defined, and who defines it? Could we actually be self-aware, speaking DNA defined as a soul? But the soul, we're going to get into that later. Frequency, vibration, light, energy, immortality, energy. These are all things that emit from the nothingness. The nothingness is. All you ISBEs understand. This is the greatest of all dominions. Now, does it have construct? I don't know. Some would say yes. Not sure. But I think you can begin to see the nothingness. Well, it's not that bad. And it would kind of begin to answer for me as well, is then it would make logical sense in one way that the essence, I think we all are the essence of the nothingness. I think everything is of the nothingness. And that's why it's so difficult to even comprehend. So, perfect death. You ever heard that term? Perfect death? What is that? Again, are we living out the death experience now? Whereas we died in another dimension? Is this what happens here? We're getting that thing with time again. You have to admit that this is a unique plane. None of us are here apparently all that long. Unless you believe in the washing machine and the recycle bit, right? I mean, you think about it. I mean, this is one. I'd use the F word, but it's one coitous mess here. No God could have ever had thought this. If he did or it did, it needs to be fired. This, by all definition, is one screwed up construct. The whole foundation of it is flawed. Makes you think then, is death really eternal? Whoa, whoa, whoa. How do we get that? Eternal death? Death is eternal? Whoa, whoa, whoa. No. By no rational mind can this be considered life. The life experience. I mean, by all indicators, we are paying our dues here. The only thing we base reality on and everything else to our existence is what we've experienced here. But some of us, there's just enough of a crack in the door that we're saying, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, death. Wait a minute. If death is eternal, then that would mean that would be substantially superior in hierarchy than here. You see, I don't think it's what we think this is all about here. I think the ones that have kept the information from us, because you think what happens now? You begin to break out of the construct and you begin to see yourself in a whole different reality, a whole different light, let's say. And you suddenly realize there is no God of the Bible, no God of the Quran, no God of the Hindu, and there is no gods. They never met. You know, people still they get so offended when I say that, but they never answer my challenge. Which God? Is God a Christian? Is God a Hindu? Is God a Muslim? Is God a Jew? Which God? I'm going to do my William Shatner. Which God? Why would God need someone to worship him? And it's difficult when you start putting yourself in the position of God. Oh, that's heresy. You bet your ass it's heresy because they don't want to hear it. I think so often many of the spirits are so lost in this construct that when they pass through that they're absolutely lost. They don't know which way to go. They don't know which way is up, which way is down. You see, people still think that there is an up or a down. And if you look at heaven and hell, the concept, heaven is hell, because heaven would be death. It would be eternal death. Perfect peace, again, is motionless. No friction, no resistance. It's exactly how perfect peace is defined. Therefore, hell would be an amusement park. No matter how morbid they got it, it'd still be an amusement park. Humans have the most amazing ability to adapt. And the reason why hell could never exist, if you put our sorry asses down there, we'll take it over within 10 years. And then if the Democrats get in, oh man, I mean, the demons are leaving, buddy. Satan done tucked the last bus. Republicans as well. That's what happens when Democrats convert. But think about it. I mean, it doesn't make sense. But people live their lives in this fear. And if we were just taught differently, you know, the temporalness of this reality tells me this is not life. No. Mm-mm. Not even close. It can't be. It has to be the death experience. Has to be. Now, I don't know what the hell got us in here, but I damn sure know this. My white ass is moving on out. When my time comes, baby. No. Because think about it. Think about that picture of that spirit manifesting, by the way, the same age of his physical representation. You see, that's how it works. When you pass over there, the only representation you have of yourself is that inner image. Now, when I pass over, baby, I'm going to have the full head of hair again. And you know what? Yeah. I mean, are spirits all bald? Apparently not. So I think I just found a new hair growth remedy. And let's talk about, King, I just think you thought about the whole thing about telepathy. So let me just tell you something, all my friends that are still in the construct of religion. By your very basis of your practicing that religion, what you're saying is that you are magically, telepathically connected to the divine. Explain to me how that works. Yeah. So that's what you have. That's the inner reflection of self. But if that spirit retained his knowledge, his acquired memories, and the wisdom, whatever wisdom he had acquired, if you can, in fact, acquire wisdom. I mean, it almost gets you the idea. It's like, you have your purse, you try to collect gold coins. Oh, that's my wisdom coins. But my whole point of it is, if any one of us were to pass over, we have this knowledge. So when we see a light being, we will most likely challenge. Exactly what I'm going to do. I don't trust anyone. I don't trust that anyone is going to be waiting for me on the other side to take care of me. You've got to get that figured out, baby. If you think that there's going to be a nursery there and that they're right there with the catcher mitt as you're coming through, might be surprised. And if you're afraid of spirits here, good Lord, could you imagine what you're going to be like over there? Going to be like a dog with his tail tucked around. You know, people are going to say, yeah, there's another one. You'll get out of your shock. But these are the things. Again, re-listen to the program. If you believe that you were born when you came in, that's when your spirit was created, well, this is almost kind of a moot point to begin to talk about, isn't it? Because it means you are limited. It means that you are finite. And I refuse to accept that. I hope you don't either. We're here for a purpose and for a reason. Maybe it is a prison planet. Maybe it is the death experience. Maybe it's the experience we all have to go through in order to be continued this ascension process that never stops. You see, I can't see a time in any time where I will not struggle. If it's, and struggle is not bad. I go to the gym. I work out with weights. It's a struggle, but I keep the muscle strength as I continue to age. Anything that's given is never considered to be of honor. If it's given without being earned, it has no place of honor. It will be disdained. It will not be appreciated. It will be taken for granted. And I think too often, most people think they're going to be taking so much for granted on the other side. And they're rolling the dice. Well, brother and sister, you're a fool if that's your take. And I hope that's not the case. Now is the time. You can live to the fullest, no matter what your perception of fullest is. But the inevitability is you have an appointment. It's waiting for you. Tick, tock, tick, tock. And if you're afraid of it, you've got a lot of work to be done. Now, if you become where I'm at, now's the time to begin to explore. Now is the time. If knowledge is transferred, now is the time to acquire that knowledge, to challenge, to take your place amongst the others. But if you won't, and if you can't, what good will you be? Who's going to nurture you? Who's going to mentor you? If you're believing some bearded dude is coming on a horse, all I got to tell you, you better get a bucket and a shovel because you're going to be picking up the shit afterwards. That's about as straight as I can tell you. I think you would rather prefer to be on the damn horse than picking up the crap. All right. Well, I invoke favor on everyone. Listen, I didn't forget. I just speak favor to all of you. And may full restoration come to each and every one of you. And that this journey becomes a journey that is, well, really what you signed up for. And maybe together, we all can get this thing figured out. And as we transcend, we can remember these moments of us coming together and having these chats. And I look forward to seeing your comments. Anyway, it's been fun. I mean, the hour just went like that for me. See, there you go. That whole time thing. So you have favor, my friends. You really do. You're beautiful, beautiful spirits. All of you. And there is so much unrecognized potential that this life, if it's perceived as life, will never bring it out. It will take infinity to bring it all out. You're so powerful and you're so beautiful. And that's what they don't want you to begin to believe is yourself. You don't need a religion. You don't need a guide. What you need is yourself, is to believe in yourself. Now, having guides and mentors, nothing wrong with that. But remember, a guide can only show you with that what you're seeking. And if you don't know what you're truly seeking, then no guide is going to be able to show you the path. And none of us have all the answers. You hear anyone says that they've got all the answers, run like hell away. No, we're all trying to figure this out, baby. So maybe someone's have some advanced insight. I can dig that. Someone comes telling me, well, I got some advanced insight. Well, that's cool. Now that I'll buy that. But when you try to start telling me that the Messiah complex is all over you, then I always tell people that you need to save yourself before you try to go out and save others. I think that's the problem with most of that, is that most people are in a spirit of confusion. And then they go out and try to tell other people, well, that ain't the way. When you look and you start peeling back the clothes, you're going, holy crap. I appreciate it. Well, thank you, Marion. I hope that answered your question, my dear. I hope that your email moved me. And so this one was for you. And I hope that you can refer others to it, because there's answers here. Now, they may not be all the answers, but there are answers. And that's what I think all of us are looking to continue to add to. I don't think the questions ever stop. I really don't. How could they ever stop? I mean, if the questions stop, yikes. That means there's nothing left. We talked about perfection. Perfection is an illusion. Perfect doesn't exist, because if perfect is, then nothing else does. So, all right, folks. I do appreciate you so much. You're beautiful. And I'll see you tomorrow here, same time, noon Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And give yourself a big hug. You know, we're all going to meet on the other side. I'm telling you, we will. You know, we're going to go by, I know you. All right. All right, folks. Much peace. Namaste to all of you. Be good. I will talk to you later. All right. Bye-bye.